It's time to talk about everything that's going on in my 13 green stalks. Hello everyone and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. I'm Kim and it's June and it's time for a green stalk update. If you're new here, I have 13 green stalks along with some raised beds and containers, but I grow a year's supply of all of the foods that my family eats throughout the year. Well, mostly. And so since I'm growing all of my food, I grow my food in many different methods, and I like to give an update of how I'm doing with my green stalks about once a month. Now, there'll be some green stalks in videos as I'm doing other recordings and that kind of stuff, but once a month, I like to take the time to show you each of the green stalks and how they're progressing throughout the season. And so that's what we're here for today. So I'm going to start with the 4 green stalks that I have behind me here and how they're doing so far. This green stalk right here is all dwarf tomatoes, and there are videos out there of when I set this up. Is green, and there are small little tomatoes on this green stalk. There's a tomato right there and lots of blooms. But this green stalk is doing great. Now, nothing's ready to harvest just yet. Most of these dwarf tomato plants are slicing tomatoes, but I do have just a few tomatoes that are grape or cherry sized tomatoes, and I have 2 micro dwarf plants in here. So this is a micro dwarf plant right here. It's going to stay relatively small. But everything else is considered a dwarf plant, and it won't get much more than 3 feet tall. And I have trellising on here to kind of help support them. But one thing about a dwarf tomato plant, they have very thick stems, so they usually can handle their own weight. Everybody's just loving this green stalk right here. I mean, but with it being so full and lush, and when I say everybody, y'all, I do mean everybody. I came out here this morning and I found a bird just nesting in the top of this green stalk. I mean, it was relaxing in the shade and having a good old time. Here's a quick picture of that bird that I found in this green stalk today. But with it being so lush and full, it was a perfect hiding place for that bird. Right next to it, I have another green stalk. It's 4 tiers versus 5 because I'm short. And in the bottom 2 tiers, I have more dwarf tomatoes that have nice blooms on it. They're nice and green. And in the top 2 tiers, I'm growing cucumbers. So this is a cucumber plant right here. There's also broccoli in there. There's some carrots up top as well. And 1 romaine lettuce plant right in the top. But everything's happy and it's growing very well in this green stalk. The green stalk right beside it here has all sweet peppers in it. All of the peppers, and I'm in the shade. Let's see if I can get around it here. It's late in the day and the sun's going down, but it's still in the very high 80s. Earlier this week, it was 62, now it's 84. But anyway, in this green stalk right here, I have all sweet peppers that I transplanted. I started all of these peppers from seeds and transplanted them into this green stalk right here. And they're all sweet peppers, many different varieties, from bell shapes to horn shapes, to orange peppers, to red peppers, to yellow peppers, to purple peppers. Here's an example of a purple bell pepper right there. Moving on back to the last green stalk. Again, this one is all peppers as well, and they're all sweet peppers. But in this green stalk, there are a few different things going on. I have plants that I started from seed and transplanted in here just a month or so ago. And then I also have peppers that I started indoors in this green stalk in my indoor grow space and brought it outdoors, like this one right here. So we started this pepper, I think it was in January, if I remember correctly. And then I have peppers in here that I fully overwintered. So this pepper plant right here, you can see where it's just starting to grow back right here. This pepper plant right here, I started last year. It's over a year old. I took it indoors. I overwintered that pepper. I got peppers throughout the winter as well. And then I cut it all the way back again, and we're starting over again from outdoors. Here's another one that I cut all the way back. Let's see if I can get it in where you can see it. This one was cut all the way back. So there's the original stem right there. I cut it all the way back, and now it's already growing and it has blooms on it. So super excited to show all the different states that this particular planter is in, and the fact that we're already harvesting peppers. And it's actually June 12th, and we are harvesting peppers in Southwest Ohio. In the two green stalks that I have right here, I have two side by side. This one is all flowers. I had pansies growing in here. I've started removing some of the pansies. Pansies are cool season flowers. You know, they can handle frost, they can handle a little light snow, but they can't handle 90-degree heat, which we're getting ready to have about a week of solid 90-degree heat. So I've started pulling those out, and I'm adding in some petunias that's not looking too healthy, but they should bounce back. And so I have petunias in a few pockets where I've already started doing that. My mother put those in over the weekend for me. And then as we pull the rest of these pansies out, we'll find something else to go in there. Right next to it, this green stalk initially was pansies and strawberries. And I've removed all of the pansies out of this green stalk, and I've taken the strawberry runners and I've put them in those empty pockets. So this will be a green stalk full of nothing but strawberries. Now, I haven't harvested any strawberries in a couple of weeks. There are no blooms on them right now, but once it cools down, they will start blooming again. I grow ever-bearing strawberries, which means that I'll get strawberries all season long. I just need the weather to cooperate so I can have strawberries all season long. So this is the second of 3 42 pocket green stalks full of strawberries. Now, I really like my strawberries, and I don't want to have to buy strawberries from the grocery store. So that's why I have almost tripled my supply of strawberries this year in the green stalks. So once they start putting blooms on again, these strawberries are really going to come in. And this is planter number 3 of nothing but strawberries. Now, some of these strawberries are brand new this year. Some of them are on their second year, and some are on their third or fourth year. So I have strawberries at many different stages of life. And I always take care of those empty pockets with those runners. I need to actually get them cut and cleaned up, but that's my third strawberry GreenStalk vertical planter. I have a link to the GreenStalk website where you can go to the website and see all the different products that they have to offer. They have original GreenStalks that come with 10-inch pockets, and then they have what they call a leaf planter that has a 7-inch pocket. And the original planter pretty much can grow anything, right? You saw I had tomato plants, I have peppers in there, I have cucumbers in there, all kinds of things. But your leaf planter are for more leafy type plants. So your lettuces and your greens and radishes and carrots can go in either one. Here's a picture of all the different things that you can grow in a GreenStalk. And you see there's everything in here from flowers to potatoes to corn, uh, Brussels sprouts, eggplant. I mean, you name it, you can grow it in a GreenStalk. I've been growing in my GreenStalks now for 4 years, and I am an affiliate of GreenStalk. But before I became an affiliate of GreenStalk, I already had 11 GreenStalks. And I've continued to add to that collection of GreenStalks. So I do truly love my GreenStalks, and I like to share all the different things that I'm growing in there. Now, I do grow some things for fun, but most of it is just to make sure I have a supply of food for my family so that I don't have to buy it. In this GreenStalk here, I have a variety of things. In the bottom, I have dwarf tomatoes in the bottom, as well as peppers in the bottom. And I actually have squash in the bottom right here. So this right here is a squash plant that I have growing in the GreenStalk. And as I continue to come up the GreenStalk, there are herbs in here, there are beans in here, there's lettuce, lots of different things in the GreenStalk. And yes, you see tomatoes, well, what's left over of a tomato plant there. One of the things that I just did this weekend is I took a tomato sucker. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I took one of these limbs like this off of a tomato. I just cut it all the way back here, and all I did was stick it in this pocket. I didn't root it. All I did was cut it and stick it deeply into this pocket here, and it's healthy and it's continuing to grow. So this pocket will have tomatoes in it, and I didn't have to wait to start it from seed or anything like that. But this GreenStalk is happy. I got little cherry tomatoes up here. So they're micro dwarf tomatoes. That's what this one is here. It's not going to get super tall. But I did make a mistake. I put a dwarf tomato way up there. Now y'all remember I said I was short. With me being short, I typically don't put anything tall when I use this many tiers of a GreenStalk. But there's my GreenStalk. And beans, look y'all, I got beans growing in here as well. They're starting to bloom a little bit. I need to get some fertilizer on this one. This is looking kind of yellow. So I am over at my neighbor's. I do manage my neighbor's garden as well. And in this GreenStalk here, it is in transition. So we are starting to remove some of the cooler season crops. The lettuce is starting to call it the end here, but there was some beautiful red and burgundy lettuce in the top. I have empty pockets that we're ready to replace items in. I have kale growing in this one right here. It's been harvested many times. There's a head, well, there's where a broccoli head used to be, and now it's putting on side shoots. So we're still enjoying broccoli on here. As I've removed things, I've replaced it. So for example, here's a pepper plant that I added to the bottom of this one here. So you can grow a variety of things, and you don't have to just fill a pocket once for the season. You can fill that pocket many times for the season. So if you are interested in the GreenStalk and you click on my link and it take you to the website, you can see everything they have to offer, right? That's what I told you. But what I didn't say, if you use my coupon code Kozy10, then you can get an extra $10 off your purchase of $75 or more. So always think about stacking that coupon code on, especially if they're having a sale. You might as well get another $10 off. In this GreenStalk right here, I have all collard greens, and you can see that there's some pretty nice leaves on there. I harvest this GreenStalk clean less than a week ago, and you can see that the leaves are already starting to come back on, and we will harvest it again this weekend. So we can make sure that we get that year's supply of collard greens. In this GreenStalk right here, in the very top, I have all basil. So I try to grow all my own basil. Have you ever tried to purchase basil in the store? You know how much that stuff costs? But in the very top, they're all basil. And I put some of these in as transplants, but most of these I started from seeds. In the next tier down, I have one celery plant that was left over. So I'm like, hey, you might as well stick it in here somewhere. And then there are more lettuce in here and some lettuce that I just started from seed. And as we continue to go down, there are some empty pockets that I need to get something in. And there's more lettuce. And then in the bottom two tiers, I have more types of herbs. So I have parsley as well as some cilantro down here. But it looks like my cilantro is going to seed because it's just been way too hot for the cilantro. So we may have to wait to the fall to get a good cilantro harvest. But for the parsley, we've harvested that and dried that multiple times this year already. And up here, there's some more empty pockets. So we have room for something else that we will be adding to this GreenStalk. And GreenStalk number 13 is a GreenStalk vertical planter full of nothing but beans. I have yellow wax beans in here as well as some purple, I think they're called royal purple beans. Now the purple beans actually turn green when you cook them, but there are purple beans and yellow beans in here. And I have lots of blooms and some little bitty beans are growing. Let's see if I can find some here and show you. On this plant right here, there's a little bitty bean right there. Yellow wax beans stay very firm when you cook them and they keep their color. There are also purple beans that are starting to come in as well. But that is GreenStalk number 13. So that's just a quick trip through all of my GreenStalks, showing you how they're doing every month. And as you see them progressing, and you can see they're in many different stages of development. Some need things put in the pockets, and some things are almost ready to harvest. So I will keep the videos coming. Come back to Kim's Cozy Corner, and I will give you another GreenStalk update very soon. But if you're interested in a GreenStalk, check out that link below. And don't forget your coupon code COZY10 for $10 off. So, until next time, and hopefully there will be a next time that you hang out with me, Kim, at Kim's Cozy Corner. Bye.